Hey everyone, welcome to Commanding the Market. If this is your first time, thanks for checking us out. If you're a repeat viewer, thank you for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, take the time to do so now. And if you have, thank you. I am Nathan Hale, the MTG Librarian, your host, and I am joined by my still favorite co-host, Trent Richardson.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So I know that our weeks have been kind of insane. That's why we're kind of recording this pretty late. You guys didn't get to see a video on Monday this week. Well, today is Monday and we're recording the video we were supposed to be putting out today. So it's been wild, man. All kinds of craziness as shenanigans have been going on in our worlds.
Yeah.
Work and our personal lives and everything else. But everybody's doing good, so that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And we hope you all are doing well right now. We are early in December, and there's a lot of excitement over upcoming sets, and there's still excitement around Commander Legends, which is still making some waves in the market. But today we're actually going to take a look at a few cards that I think have hit their bottom. And I think now's probably the time to pick those cards up. But before we talk about those, we want to just reference a few cards we've had on previous shows that have been doing well. And if you've been paying attention and picking these up as we talked about them, you stand to make a pretty penny off these. That first one is Time Stream Navigator.
Yeah.
And that was back in July.
We've had a double up since July almost. It was 325 when we talked about it. Now it's up to about 605. So
actually, I checked just before the show. It's up to 749. So we've had a double up.
More than a double up.
Well, pretty much exactly a double up. No, more than a double up. You mathed better than I did.
Yeah, it had about a 60% increase there. That's pretty good from July. So hopefully you guys bought 40 of them, and now you can sell them off for
a tidy profit.
Tens and tens of dollars.
And we had another one move up, and by the way, I have the updated info on that one. And that's Sundial of the Infinite.
Ah, yes.
So that one shouldn't have come as a surprise to anyone with all the hype around Obeka, as we saw cards like Final Fortune and Last Chance just going through the roof. An auto include for that deck, and not only that deck, but also, as we discussed on a previous show when we discussed the spec, Arami of the Dead Tide, both of which really want to use this card and can use it to very good effect. And so a few weeks back when we spec'd on it, the market price at the time was $322. When I picked up mine, I got them cheaper than that. I think I got mine for $2.25 at the time. And then I put it on the show as a spec. And since then, it's jumped to a market price of $643. So it's also had a double up.
Yeah, Sundial, I don't think is going to be having a slowdown anytime soon either, because Obeka is, by far the most popular out of all the new commanders. It's got the most unique ability of all the commanders, and the one thing it has going for it that 98% of the other commanders don't have going for it is they were on
game nights.
Game nights, yeah. So Obeka
as was
on
Arami,
game nights,
actually.
And Arami was on there too.
Two of the four decks were ones that wanted and ran Sundial. I assume Sundial was in the Arami. I can't remember if we saw it.
We didn't see it, but it probably was in there. Yeah. So, I don't see really either of these cards losing any steam. Time Stream Navigator may level off at some point here shortly. But who knows what it's going to do with the prices of Ixalan Rivals boxes going up, or Rivals of Ixalan boxes going up. So,
speaking of that, actually, this third card was also one from that set. I believe it was Rivals and not Ixalan. It was from that block at any rate, and that's Revel in Riches. And we talked about this card in early November. When we recommended picking it up at the market price was $324. It's now up to $482.
Yeah.
And that's another one that's been jumping up. And there's a few others. Dockside Extortionist jumped about $4, which we weren't surprised. We were leery. We had him on as a spec, but we were also like, watch and see, because there's a possibility of reprinting Commander Legends. It dodged that reprint, so naturally that card is now definitely jumping up. If you did listen in and picked up some, good for you. You could have got in on them at the time, I think, for $27. They're up to about 35 now.
Yeah.
So one last thing on selling. I've been doing a lot more selling on my TCG Player Store. So
how many sales are you up to?
Over 50. I'm not sure the exact number.
Good.
But I'm up to the next tier now, the next level of seller. And I'm fast on track to get that 100 sales in 90 days to get to where I can control my shipping prices, which is where I want to be, so that I can start moving my bulk, which is really where I want to be moving. Right now I'm focusing on singles. I sold out of all the Balaged recoveries. It had another jump because there was a mention of Balaged recovery on Command Zone, one of their podcasts, and they basically were talking about upgrade of a deck, and along the way they said MDFCs would be great to add. In fact, MDFCs are great for every deck, and in fact, if you're running green, you should always be running the best one of them, Balaged recovery. And overnight the card shot up like 30-40 cents just from that mention, and like them having to point out to Magic players that are EDH players that yes, it's a good card. Well, we've been saying that since before the set came out.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I've now sold, I think I've sold a total of 40 copies. I've actually now netted a profit of about $15, and I'm going to sit on the remaining 40 or 50 I have. And about half of which are in decks, but the other half I'm just sitting on to sell a year or two down the line when the price really jumps.
Sure. Yeah. Well, good deal, man. Good stuff. That's awesome. So I guess we can go ahead and get into it here. We've got our first card we're going to talk about today is from M21, Ugin the Spirit Daddy. Dragon.
Eugene.
So Eugene, Ugin, whatever you want to call him, is a planeswalker, colorless for 8 mana. It's 7 loyalty to start, tick it up, +2 loyalty. Ugin the Spirit Dragon deals 3 damage to any target. Minus X count loyalty counters. Exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less. That's one or more colors. And then you can -10 to ultimate, and the ultimate is you gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put up to 7 permanents from your hand onto the battlefield for free.
Kind of good. I've heard this guy's kind of good.
Yeah,
and I think other people agree too. What's he in? Like 12,000 EDH decks?
Yeah, pretty much 12,000 EDH decks. And I mean, so these guys like this and Karn, in my opinion, it could go in literally every EDH deck, and there's not a whole lot of drawback unless you have a very specific plan with your deck.
They're among the most splashable just because they've got built-in really good removal on a colorless body, planeswalker.
Yeah, exactly. So we've seen ever since it got reprinted in 21, it's been on a steady decline, and it's been struggling to find its bottom for sure. But in the last week of November, it's went up $1. So that to us kind of tells us that it's probably hit its bottom. I mean, it might go up and down. It'll stay in that, little range there for a while. But ultimately, at $18.88 on the market for TCG, I think that's where its bottom is going to be, because honestly, this card is way too good to be under a $20 card. It just simply is. Mid $22.64. Card Kingdom and everyone else knows what's up. Card Kingdom has it for $27.99. Star City Games $29.99. Channel Fireball $28 even, with only 4 in stock, and you can get them for low as 20 cents.
No,
in
$20.
$20.
I was like, wait, where'd you see that? Wallet.
No.
Cha-ching.
I just misspoke. I'm like way tired. So
That's all good.
anyway,
Yeah, near mint bulk
um,
for $20. That's a steal in my opinion.
yeah, and with as many decks as it's in being a mythic, is kind of crazy that we're even to this point
Yeah.
here. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just oversaturation in the market quickly, but the market is taking them in very easily. Seems like so.
Well, I mean, this
When
card
it does
sees
rotate up,
play. It sees play
yeah,
outside of EDH, but
yeah.
also
So it's
standard,
in
pioneer,
standard.
modern, legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like this card's
Not
going
so much
anywhere.
legacy. I haven't seen it so much in legacy, but definitely in
There
modern
is
with
a little bit of
Tron.
legacy. It's I looked it up actually, but it's not popular like as a modern with
Yeah,
Tron.
yeah. So I mean, you only need to look at like Crucible of Worlds, which was reprinted at M19. Which, by the way, Will and I busted 2 boxes over here and didn't get one, and I opened a couple boxes and didn't get one. So that was a super mythic apparently in 19. But
Yeah.
like Ugin was a $50 card prior to the reprint, and it dropped all the way down to $17, which is where I did get my copy at,
Of
and now
Crucible,
it's
yeah.
back up over 40.
Yeah.
So Ugin, I think before the reprint was around 60,
Yes.
maybe.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
was
think it was
Favorite
around
Forge, he was right
60.
around $60.
Yeah, so I'm thinking the top line on this is still probably in the $50 range.
I'm thinking it's at least going to hit back to the 40 mark. Like
Mhm.
following Crucible, and Crucible itself got over 50 again, up over 50,
Yeah.
and then it's dropped down to somewhere in the mid 40s now. But
Hmm.
I really feel it's going to follow more or less the same arc.
Yeah.
It's had roughly the same amount of printings. I think technically, if you don't count the special box edition they did with War of the Spark, it technically has one less printing, yet it's a more recent printing, so that kind of equates to almost like 2 printings between a master set and, well, then again,
Hmm.
they're both core. I mean, that's core 2019. They're both really relatively the same amount of printing. So yeah,
Well, Core 19 didn't have collector boosters either, so
true,
there's that.
true.
Yeah. So that will affect it a little bit, and maybe we're gonna see it top line maybe 35. I forgot about the collector booster version, but yeah, that's why Crucible's able to get back over 50 plus is because there wasn't
That
a
alternate
ton
box
of
printing.
collector. Yeah, exactly. So any case, Ugin definitely a pickup at $18.88. Super worth it.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't have my copies, I'd go get some, but
Yeah,
I've got plenty more than I know what to do with actually. So we're good to go
I know
there.
I'm doing with some of mine. I'm going to be selling them, but not right now.
Yeah,
Wait until that
not right
price goes
now.
back up. Because
That's
I've
right.
got several
That's
that
right.
aren't in decks right now.
Hmm.
Well,
So from our favorite set to hate, is this Theros?
this is
OG
Theros. I
Theros?
think this is Theros. It's the Theros block. I always confuse which is which, but I believe this is actually straight up Theros.
Yeah. So Sylvan
This
Caryatid.
Caryatid.
No, Caryatid.
Caryatid.
That's how I'm gonna say it.
You know what? I'm not going to argue because I'm not an English professor, nor am I a Magic the Gathering wordologist.
Yeah, me neither. That's just how I always hear it from everybody. So I figured, why not? Caryatid, tomato, orange juice,
Orange
whatever
juice.
floats
They're
your
all
boat. Yeah,
plants or come from plants. And
exactly.
this happens to be a plant creature. So
Yeah,
it's a
0-3.
0/3 for a green and 2 with Defender and Hexproof. And you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Now it's played in nearly 8,000 decks. And current market price on it is $4.07 with a mid of $5.80. Card Kingdom has 3 in stock for $5.99. Star City Games is out of stock at $4.99. Channel Fireball only has lightly played for $5.10. And TCG Light Play Bulk can be got for as low as $3.31. Now, the thing that's interesting about this card is It commanded a price of nearly $15 as recently as February of this year, but has had a steady drop in price to where it now sits again at 407. However, in the past week, it started to see its first gains, jumping about 60 cents. Now, this is an excellent mana dork, taps for any color, great for enabling combos, and has staying power thanks to being hexproof and that 3 toughness. So all of these things combined, and I use it in, I have it in my Tulane deck, which is a combo deck where I need to get color of either white or blue, usually not green, so that I can bounce with Intruder Alarm and get the proper color mana to replay my Shrieking Drakes or my White Mane Lions. So it's one of my more important mana dorks in the deck. It's typically played in combo decks because of its ability to dodge spot removal and have that staying power as a mana dork that you can abuse.
Right.
And I like with Ugin, I feel we've hit that bottom on this card. And I think right now is the time to start scooping these up. It dodged a reprint in Theros. Why it dropped over the course of this year, I'm going to be honest, I don't know. It's not like it really saw play elsewhere. I don't think it sees any play elsewhere outside of EDH. Yet, it's still one of the best 2-drop mana dorks out there, in my opinion. Now, if you've got where you're planning to swing a lot, maybe it's not the one for you. But if you want a mana dork in a combo deck, this is definitely the dork you want to add in.
The only thing I could think of is that maybe Paradise Druid took its place because it's a much cheaper option, and it does lose hexproof when it's tapped, but it's on a 2/1 body that can attack too. So it pulls double duty, has the same mana cost, does have hexproof when it's untapped.
I considered that as well, but again, losing that hexproof, typically I want to use my mana. It's on my turn, which means it's got to round the table and stay in play. And I'll be honest, bolt the bird's a thing. And if you're not sure what to remove against someone who's ramping with creatures, the creature ramp. Get rid of the creature ramp.
Mm-hmm. It's in the deck for a reason.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know Sylvan Caryatid. I didn't know it was even close to $15 ever.
Oh yeah,
it's just, I find that Birds of Paradise is a much better card.
Oh well, it's been
reprinted to hell, so there's that. But
Birds of Paradise, there's a reason we say bolt the bird and not bolt the Caryatid.
Yeah.
Well, you could bolt the Caryatid. Car-Y-A-tid.
Car-Y-A-tid.
There we go.
Why car-aided? Car-aided oil. That's what it is.
Well, we only have one more for you today, because like we said, it has been a pretty insane week for both of us. So this last one here, why don't you open it up for us?
So, Leyline Tyrant from Zendikar Rising. It's a 4-mana dragon, so 2 and 2 red for a 4/4 flyer that lets you keep all the red mana you have forever and ever and ever. It's great. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end, and when Leyline Tyrant dies, you may pay an amount of red mana. When you do, it deals that much damage to any target. So even if they do get rid of it and you're going to be forced to lose your mana, you get a mana sink just for playing the game. Thanks for playing the game. Consolation prize, everybody. So now I just want to make a comment on here, and I don't know if you have it in the notes, which I don't believe you do, but I was watching a video the other day. I think it was a Modern gameplay video, and they were running Leyline Tyrant, or one of their opponents was running like a Leyline Tyrant with a mana. It's from it's got the cumulative upkeep of
Braids of Fire.
Yeah, playing this with Braids of Fire, which sounds like really sick. So, you know, that's going to be, if I do build a red deck ever, I might have to toss this and Braids of Fire in there, because that just sounds like a pretty sweet little 1/2 there.
Braids jumped up after this was revealed.
Right, right. So Leyline Tyrant played in nearly 800 decks, and you've got to remember, guys, 800 decks. Zendikar just came out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still the newest expansion for Magic, because Commander Legends, I don't consider it an expansion. It's just a ancillary product, you know. So that being said, 800 decks in what, like 2 months, I think.
Yeah, I think it's been almost exactly 2 months at this point.
Yeah, is pretty insane. So TCG Market, $3.90 on the market. Mid has them for $4.99.
I do want to make one quick errata and apology on these prices, because I literally looked it up. When I did this is a few days ago. It hit what I called its bottom, and the market is agreeing with me that was the bottom of it. It is now at a market price of $4.28 with a mid of $4.84. So it has jumped already since I put this together 3 days ago. So
wow,
not huge, but it's starting to see that uptick now. So I wouldn't delay on this.
Yeah, this one needs to be a quick pickup. Card Kingdom, $5.99, plenty in stock. That could change. Star City Games, $3.99. If that's the case,
that's
you might want to scoop them up there. Channel Fireball, $6. $6 at Channel Fireball, and as low as, well, I don't know what the bulk price is at TCG anymore. So
what it was a few days ago was kind of curious, and this is something I want to talk about on a side note. It was near mint bulk, $4.80, and the cheapest bulk was foil.
Really?
Really, which brings me to the new foil is the new unwanted. When you have alternate versions foil, super bling, and then you have the cheap version, which is just the normal, and then you have this mid-tier foil, the quote-unquote mid-tier foil suddenly seems less bling and in many cases less worth getting than just I want to get the cheapest version. So it's almost pushing it down into the same realm as the cheapest version, because it becomes somewhat undesirable. It's like, okay, great, I have a card that's not really worth much more at all than the non-foil, but is much more likely to get ruined over time.
Right.
So I don't know. That's the only theory I have on, because this is not the first time we've seen this. We've seen this with so many other cards. Since with Double Masters, I bought a lot of like Lightning Greaves and things like that, the foil variant, because it ended up being the same price as the non-foil. So I'm wondering if we're beginning to see that trend where players are just like, I'd rather have the normal than the foil since it's not really blingy. So
yeah, I mean, that could definitely be a thing. And two, we know that there's been a curling issue with the foils for a while now.
Yeah.
And I think people are just tired of it, quite honestly. So like I've said previously, I really hope that they just start doing etched foils for the they're going to be their standard, because I truly believe, and I've already seen it with my own collection, the etched foils have not curled at all. While the regulars have a little bit. Now,
I even had a couple of mine come out with just a non-etched foil, regular foils straight from the pack with just a slight curl to them. I was like, really? I mean, I literally just opened it. I'm right there with sleeves when I crack, so that any foils can go right in. And like literally as I'm pulling them, I'm looking at them like this has already been curled in the pack.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I really hope they do go with the edged foils, because they look amazing, first of all. And secondly, I mean, you can tell. You could tell immediately. I mean, as soon as I saw the first one, I could tell that it was going to have a hard time curling, just because it just seemed more like it was printed on the card and not like something stuck
Layered,
onto
stuck
it.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So yeah, I'm
who
just
knows?
getting down on foils again, even more than usual, as I'm noticing this trend continuing with collector boosters really driving the price of foil cards down.
Yeah.
Now back to Leyline Tyrant here. Now this card first jumped out to me as being essentially a red Omnath Locus of Mana, a card that has commanded a price as high as $42 and is still sitting at over 20 despite its second reprinting, now in Commander Collection Green. I've been watching the price for a while as it's dropped, looking for Leyline Tyrant to hit its bottom, and judging from what I've seen between when I found that price, the market a few days ago, and now it's already jumped up 30-40 cents from there, I'd say we are definitely, now is the time to pull that trigger.
Yeah, for sure.
I won't say it's a unique ability because green has it, and there's an artifact that kind of lets you, and then there's a god, Karametra, that is it Karametra? No, Krufix, that lets you do this to a degree. But they all do it in a unique way, and this is the first one in red that lets you do it. And when you compare to Krufix, who I haven't looked at his price, but I think he's around $15. He might even be more than that.
I'll check it out.
We talked about, who was up in the $42 at one point and still over $20. Actually, I put over 20 because I expected it to keep dropping, but it was over 30 when I looked it up, the OG version. It was still over 30, but I expect it to still continue to drop some, but I think it's going to stick around 20, despite its reprint in the collection green. So Leyline Tyrant at sub $5 seems a no-brainer.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there for sure. Let's see, Krufix God of Horizons. It's $3.
I don't think that's the right one. Is there more than one Krufix?
That's unused mana would empty from your mana pool. That mana becomes colorless.
Wow, I thought he was much more than that. Oh, that's because
it got reprinted in
the reprint really hurt
mystery boosters.
Yeah. Well, not just mystery, but the secret lair. And I think when I looked at the last price, I just glanced. It was the secret lair one at 12.
Yeah.
So anyway, even still, where's my? There we go. Even still, I still feel that Leyline Tyrant is a solid pickup. At that sub $5 mark.
Yeah. No, Krufix was up there, prior to getting double printed in less than a year.
Yeah. I think within a month of each other. Mystery boosters
close.
And the God secret lair.
Yeah, it's very close to one another for sure. So but anyway, like you said, first time this ability's in red. All you red mages out there.
And all of you Yurok of the Scorched Thrash who want to be pumping lots of mana out and then being able to put it somewhere, well, there's a good place to put it.
Yeah, for sure. That's all we had for this week, Hale. And it's going to be nice for our viewership this week, I think, to get through the entire episode with kind of a little bit of a shorter episode this week. But
I know my editing is going to appreciate it because this week I'm swamped with editing from work. So it'll be nice. Hopefully I can have this turned around. Probably not tonight, but tomorrow get it knocked out and get it up. I'll probably still keep to the noon time, so noon on Wednesday as opposed to Monday. But everyone, we really appreciate you checking it out and seeing what's what in the market right now and seeing what we're looking at. I'll just put a little spoiler out there. There's the possibility that today we had spoiled that snow might actually, in fact, be in Kaldheim. Jury's still out. It was a little blurry, but it's looking a strong possibility. And we were calling it last week that if you're interested in snow cards, you need to pick those up. Stay tuned. There's going to be a link going to pop up at the end of this video that'll take you to that if you missed it. You're going to want to grab those cards while you can. because once it's fully revealed that Snow's in there, those cards are going to start going up in price. I guarantee it. Just the speculators alone are going to push those prices.
Yeah, exactly. So get your Snow permanents at the ready on speed dial and put them up for auction or whatever you're going to do to get rid of them quickly. Because I'll tell you, whatever spikes, it's going to be stuff from our last episode for sure. There's just not many options out there for Snow, and those are going to be the ones. So get ready to pull the trigger. Make sure you have some extras laying around so you can build with them too and have some fun. But for the market anyway, you need to get ready because it's going to happen here in another week or two. So
I'm really well. You'll have to watch the video, but the land cycle I think is probably going to see a very big spike because I don't think they're going to see a reprint in this. I think we'll see the enemy or the ally. We saw the ally there, so the enemy. But who knows? Exactly. Who knows? We're just speculating. We don't have our inside man on at WotC telling us what's actually going to be there. So, but
no, he's been on vacation for our entire
life. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you watching. If you haven't liked, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, once again, please do so. Share this with your friends. Share this with your fellow gamers. Share this with
your mommies, your daddies, your sisters, your uncles, your cousins, your aunts, and your new neighbor, John, who just moved in, and he's so sad and lonely. Why don't you go over there, take a magic deck with you, teach him how to play magic, and he's going to be like, yo, this sucks. It's for kids. And why do you pay so much money to play this game? And you can be like, well, because I can actually make money off of playing this game, or I could just play for free by playing my cards right.
It's just a sore loser because you spanked him anyway.
Exactly. And don't spank Jimmy. He moved here from Australia, and his mother used to tie him up downstairs and feed him sauerkraut every morning. So, and then got a spanking if he didn't eat his sauerkraut. So take it easy on him. It's fine. We're all going to get through this together. And in the meantime, keep commanding the market.
Peace.